Do you have a quorum, Secretariat?
Yes, sir, we do have a quorum, sir.
Okay. Magpe-pray ka muna ba or what?
Uh, yes, sir, we will have a prayer, sir, and then we will do the roll call, sir.
Roll call and then the agenda.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon,
Okay, sige.
everyone. Welcome to this BAC Bravo meeting. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for bringing us here today. May we have a productive meeting, and may you guide us and give us wisdom as we do every decisions. And please always keep us safe. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good afternoon,
Amen.
everyone. Again, we welcome to this Bravo meeting. This meeting is being streamed online via the CAAP YouTube account. Please acknowledge once your name is called. Our presiding officer and our chairperson, General John Estabilio, Attorney Roberto Martin Benaventura, General Ernesto Milo.
Present, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Engineer
Good
Ardel
afternoon.
Borlado is on travel, sir. We also have Engineer Gary MJD online, sir. Engineer Josue Sugi.
Good afternoon.
Good
Afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
sir. And our end user, Mr. Wilmar from the HRMD. For the BAC Technical Working Group, we have our head, Attorney Marie Dane Espiritu. Good afternoon. Engineer Michael Macabenta.
Present.
Engineer Florian Atienza.
Present.
Engineer Norik
Online.
Baez.
Present. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Jose Marie Anthony Eligilio.
Present. Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Alfred Istura. Ms. Jamaica Gregorio. Dr. Benjamin Terencio, and Ms. Cheryl Walikan.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. For the BAC Secretariat, we have our overall head, Dr. Rolly Bayaban, Irish Presyon, Attorney John Bo Masiglat, Ms. Melina Reyes. We have Mr. Sonny Villabert, and our minutes taker for today's meeting is Ms. Ira Mindanao. Sir, also in attendance in this meeting are the other members of the BAC Secretariat as well as our observers from the internal audit, from the procurement division, from the COA, and we also have with us, sir, Miss Nicola Ramos. That's all for the roll call, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Any agenda for this afternoon's committee?
Sir, for this afternoon, our agenda is the pre-bid conference for the procurement of Manpower Outsourcing contract for provision of technical and non-technical personnel support service requirements for CAAP Central Office and area centers nationwide under a 3-year service agreement amounting to 1,389,295 pesos, 295,115 pesos, and 0.04 centavos. This is an HRMD project, sir. And we
Okay.
have bidders, we have 3 prospective bidders who inquired for this project, sir, and they are waiting to be admitted online.
Okay, let's admit them para makilala natin sila. After admitting them, Secretariat, kindly introduce themselves and what company they are representing.
To our prospective bidders, good afternoon. Before we start our pre-bid conference, may we request our prospective bidders to introduce themselves and the company that they represent for records purposes.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Jude Catlas, representing Elserv Corporation. So together with me are our colleagues, our office, with our president, Joseph B. Angeles, our general counsel, attorney Ces Tuazon, and the rest of the team. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Canlas.
Thank you.
Next, please, the representative from OmniWorks. Sir, ma'am, please introduce yourself and the company that you represent.
Hello, ma'am. Sir, good afternoon. This is Jubel Polido, and together with Mr. Richard Bartolai from OmniWorks Incorporated. Thank you po.
Thank you. Any other prospective bidders, please?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
I'm
ma'am.
Janet Garcia. I'm Janet Garcia from Thompson Staffers. Together with me is our chairman, Mr. Butch Guerrero, and finance head, Ms. Risa Ensoy, and one from marketing department, RG Salvador.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Next, please. To our prospective bidders, also, ma'am, sir, please type in the chat box your company. Thank you. Mr. Chair, we are done introducing our prospective bidders, sir. Mr. Chair, requesting to proceed with the pre-bid conference, sir, for our project.
Yeah, okay, you may proceed, Secretariat.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the technical working group will be presenting the project, sir. Miss Engineer Michael Macabenta from the technical working group.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. The technical working group is Good afternoon, everyone. This is the pre-bid conference for the procurement of manpower outsourcing contract for the provision of technical and non-technical personnel support service requirements for central office and central and area centers nationwide. The approved budget for the contract i-
Nawawala si Secretariat, nawawala si
uh,
Technical Working Group.
I'm sorry, sir, the presentation was not earlier shared. May I continue, Mr. Chair? The approved budget for the contract for this project amounts to 1 billion 389 million 295,115 pesos and 4 cents for the first year only. Um, for the information of the attendees, the ones we are the information we are presenting are the updated ones. We are going to issue a bid bulletin updating all the information um, on the posted Philippine bidding documents. Kindly note um, on the updates. First is the approved budget of the contract, as mentioned earlier. Second, um, the bidders must have a similar contract or contract similar to the project within 5 years, within 5 years from the date of submission. This can also be used as a timeline for the SLCC. So this is the breakdown, the classification of the manpower manpower requirement, um, non-technical and technical. Number of positions for non-technical, total of 3,431. For non-technical, um, 500, 502 positions, total of 3,933 positions. So the ABC is as stated earlier. The coverage for this project is from March this year to February, end of February next year, or a total of 12 months. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR of RA 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or sole proprietorship, partnership, or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to the citizens of the Philippines. With regards to the amount or applicable fee for the bidding documents, we have updated it from we have updated it to 84,000 pesos inclusive of 12% VAT based on the payment schedule of the GPPB. So we are now conducting the pre-bid conference, and the deadline for submission and of the bids of prospective bidders is on February 17, 2022 at 2 p.m. This will also be the same for the opening.
Is that correct ba, Mike? 17 ba or 15? Technical Working Group. Kindly clarify, please.
Yes, sir. 17, sir. We will move it on February 17, 2022, sir, at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So with the paragraph 10 of the invitation to bid, CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all the bids, declare a failure bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with the IRR of RA 9184. So all the information, for further information, please refer to the overall head of the BAC Secretariat, Dr. Rolly T. Bayaban. And we'll proceed with the discussion on the Section 2 of the Philippine bidding documents. We have updated Section 2.1, scope of the bid, Section 2.2, funding information. So this project will come from the CAAP corporate budget of FY 2022 in the amount as stated earlier, the ABC 1,389,295,115 pesos and 4 cents. So let's proceed with section 2.5. Section 2, 5.3 refers to the amount requirement of the SLCC. So completed at least two similar contracts, the aggregate amount of which should be equivalent at least 50% in case of non-expendable supplies and services. The largest of these similar contracts must be equivalent to or at least half of the percentage of the ABC. 10.3. So in ITB 10.3, we edited the 10.2. 10.2, we have edited the SLCC period requirement from 3 years, naging 5 years na po from prior to the deadline of submission of bids. No other revisions from Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. Let's proceed with the Section 3, the bid data sheet. So, to describe contract similar to the project, for this purpose, contract similar to this project will refer as to provision of manpower services, and equivalent to two categories, two conditions. One, single contract equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC for this project, or two, as discussed in the revision in instruction to bidders, two similar projects with aggregate amount equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC, and the largest of which must be equivalent at least 25% of the ABC. Again, completed within the similar contract similar to the project must be completed within the last 5 years. ITB clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. 10.1, we have revised this ITB clause. Removing other information since the documentary requirements, eligibility and technical documents are already specified in Section 8, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents, which we also have revised. We will later in our presentation will flash in the screen the updated checklist for technical components and financial components of the bid. So 10.1, bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. 10.2, the revision is still is already discussed in the revisions in the instruction to bidders, referring to the SLCC period requirement and amount requirement, contract amount requirement. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. Also, we have an updated prescribed form for the single largest completed contract. These forms are available in section 9 of these Philippine bidding documents. We also updated all the forms. 11.1 refers to the second component, second bid envelope, the financial documents. All the financial documents that must be submitted by the bidders are included or listed in the section 10 checklist of section 8. I'm sorry, stand corrected. Section 8. Section 8 of these Philippine bidding documents. The financial bid form is CAAP, its prescribed format is CAAP BAC SF bid form. And modifications and or alterations on the stated requirements in the financial documents, such as the financial bid form and the price schedules, shall not be allowed. Later, I'll discuss in detail the price schedule forms. Applicable forms is in Annex C. Section 9 bidding forms Annex C for financial documents. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. Discounts must be stated, if any, in the financial bid form shall be computer written with the same font and size as of the whole text of the said form. Discounts that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in other font style and size shall not be considered. ITB Clause 11.3, bids exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 12 refers to the delivery of the services to be rendered, CAAP head office and area centers. 14.1 refers to the amount of the bid securing declaration. 2% of the ABC if the bid securities in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. For bid security and surety bond, 5% of the ABC. Shall not be less than 5% of the ABC. ITB Clause 14.2, the refers to the validity of the bid security. 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids. The performance security shall be in the following forms, in the three following forms. If the bidder opts to submit a surety bond, surety bond issued by the GSIS is preferred. Kindly take note, prospective bidders, with regards to the IDB clause 15.0. This shall be a basis for disqualification if the instructions are not complied. First is the initials. Initial or sign by the duly authorized representative of the bidder in each and every page of the bid. Submitted eligibility, technical and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs or ear tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of page 3 of, for example, page 3 out of 100. Page number of the last page of the document must be in per envelope basis. So for 15.0, initials, pagination, and ear tabs. Second requirement for the submission, we only require one original each of the component. One original copy of the first component, which is the technical, legal eligibility component. The second component is the financial. (19.1) refers to the bidders that must render its statement of compliance or conformity with bidding documents as enumerated and specified in Section 7 Technical Specifications. So, statement of compliance will flash in the screen the format and the content needed on the to be complied. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. ITB clause 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. 19.5, NFCC standard form is updated. CAAP BAC SF Annex C, Form 4. 20.2, we have updated the list of documents or requirements needed during submission in the post-qualification. We have added the latest audited financial statements. That's it with the bid data sheet. Let's proceed with the general conditions of the contract. General conditions of the contract, we have no revisions on this section of the Philippine bidding documents. Still the same. Let's proceed with Section 5, special conditions of the contract. GCC Clause 1, the additional requirements to be provided under a contract should include those specified in the terms of reference. The terms of reference is in Section 7, technical specifications after the statement of compliance. 2.1, not applicable. GCC clause 2.2, payments shall be made upon presentation by the winning bidder, a winning contractor, of the billing for the covered period subject to the usual accounting and auditing rules and regulation. The billing shall be accompanied by the following documents: certificate of performance based on performance evaluation issued by the HRMD of this office, certifying that the performance rating of winning contractor is very satisfactory. The OR of the remittances paid for the necessary benefits and social insurance contributions of non-technical and technical support personnel deployed at central office and area centers. These are the social benefits and social insurance agencies. Third, certification under oath attesting that it is compliant with the DOLE minimum wage law in accordance with its representation and warranties. Fourth requirement, documentary requirement, is the master list of outsourced personnel deployed at CAAP Central Office and area centers through email to HRMD at the end of each month with the following details. Fifth, certification under oath attesting its prompt payment of wages and benefits to outsourced personnel deployed at central office and area centers. Winning contractor shall pay taxes due in relation to the contract in full and on time. Its failure to do so shall entitle CAAP to suspend payment for the services delivered. Performance of the winning contractor under the contract shall likewise be in accordance with the terms of reference. Non-compliance or violation of terms and conditions stipulated in the Manpower outsourcing contract with CAAP shall result in the cancellation or termination of contract based on findings during periodic technical inspection to be conducted by HRMD for the purpose of determining compliance of the winning contractor. So, for the schedule of requirements, what are the position titles, number of quantities, or quantity of each position title required for this project? Delivered in Manpower services, the coverage is 12 months. For non-technical, there are 27 position titles. Technical have 61 position titles. So let's proceed with section 7 of these Philippine bidding documents, technical specification. The first table is the statement of compliance with the specification on proposed basic monthly salaries for each of the position titles. Second part of The technical specifications is the terms of reference.
For the terms of reference, we have provided the background and objective. So by way of background, initially, we have contracted the services of LServe Corporation starting from March 1, 2020 until February 28 this year. And this would support, and the objective of the project is basically to address the personal turnover and fill up the vacuum created by the issuance of CSC COA DBM Joint Circular Number 1, Series 2017 as amended and Executive Order 366 prohibiting the direct hiring of temporary technical and administrative manpower support during an extended period of time under job order status or contract of service, while rationalization and reorganization efforts in CAAP are ongoing. For the approved ABC for the contract, so as previously mentioned, the total amount is 1,389,295,115 pesos and 4 cents. For the obligations and responsibilities, um, we have revised number 1 thereof, specifically the period for the, which refers to the period. So the revised version would be after determining the lowest and most responsive bidder in the competitive bidding to be conducted for this purpose, CAAP shall grant and award to the winning manpower service provider or contractor the contract to provide the necessary manpower support personnel effective for a period of 1 year, effective March 1, 2022 up to Feb 28, 2023, which this is the revised part, which may be renewed every year thereafter at the option of CAAP and subject to a satisfactory result of the performance evaluation and approval of the CAAP board up to a maximum period of 3 years. For number 2, the winning manpower service provider contractor shall provide the CAAP with the necessary number of a total of 502 number of technical personnel and 3,431 admin support personnel. And this provision would also provide that the CAAP has the may at any time reduce such number of personnel to conform to its requirements. As previously mentioned, we are undergoing a reorganization right now. So the employees of the winning contractor should be physically and mentally fit, of good moral character, honest, reliable, and competent, and of cooperative dispositions. So CAAP also reserves the right to demand the immediate replacement of any personnel assigned by the winning manpower service provider, contractor, to the job whose services will be prejudicial to the interests of CAAP. CAAP shall pay the winning manpower service provider, contractor the monthly billing rates stipulated in this contract, inclusive of the following, subject to existing government auditing and accounting rules. So this is the enumeration of those covered by the payment. So the basic salary, the SSS, PhilHealth, Home Development Mutual Fund, employee compensation, service incentive leave, 13th month pay, clothing allowance, admin costs, and the value-added tax. The winning contractor, in coordination with CAAP HRMD, shall likewise establish systems and procedures that shall rationalize the implementation of the following human resource management concerns of temporary support personnel deployed by the winning contractor in various offices units of CAAP Central Office and the area centers, for the hiring, augmentation of managed personnel deployed in CAAP, absences, tardiness, and leave of absence, usage of office supplies, office discipline and decorum, disciplinary actions, resignation, termination, and other forms of separation, periodic work performance evaluation, conduct basic orientation on the particular scope of work. So background check and character assessment must also be conducted. Then the winning bidder shall be responsible for integrating a continuing personnel development program for all personnel deployed. And prior to the deployment, the winning contractor shall guarantee and issue a training certification that the personnel to be deployed to positions requiring training, seminar, are adequately trained for the position. So the winning contractor shall also provide every year to their personnel deployed at CAAP one set of office or working uniform consisting of one upper and one lower garment. The design and fabric shall be subject to the approval of CAAP. And the winning contractor shall shoulder the cost for the uniform. And upon written request, the CAAP may require immediate replacement of undesirable personnel. And the winning contractor must provide replacement within 72 hours from receipt of a written notice. The winning contractor must, the winning contractor shall also immediately recall the personnel at its own instance or upon written request of CAAP should the personnel perform acts prejudicial to the interests of CAAP or found incompetent and negligent in the performance of their functions. So the winning contractor must provide a project coordinator in central office, area cluster 1, 2, 3, and 4 to address all concerns of the manpower. The provisions of biometric machine, the winning contractor must provide sufficient biometric machines to monitor manpower outsourcing personnel deployed in CAAP. So CAAP also obligates to reimburse the winning contractor any amount of additional expenses advanced by the winning contractor incurred by technical and admin support for necessary official travel to and from CAAP workstations outside CAAP head office or area centers, and for the overtime services rendered incidental to the performance of their functions. However, it should be noted that the travel and rendition of overtime services shall have prior CAAP approval pursuant to existing CAAP policies. So the winning manpower service contractor shall also provide all technical and admin support personnel required as listed in the schedule of requirements of these bidding documents. The winning contractor shall fully assume all official and legal responsibilities over all support personnel that shall be provided and deployed in CAAP. And the winning contractor shall exercise sole administrative control and supervision over said support personnel. However, the manpower service the winning contractor fully agrees to allow CAAP to exercise full control and supervision over the functions and activities of support personnel deployed in CAAP on any or all matters regarding their respective work assignments. The winning contractor fully guarantees the capabilities and competence of the technical and admin support personnel assigned in CAAP. And they should be compliant with the work experience and other qualifications prescribed for the particular outsourced position by the CAAP HRMD. The CAAP may also require, in case the individual work performance of respective support personnel concerned shall be rated unsatisfactorily, the change of personnel. The personnel to be assigned to CAAP shall render work for 8 hours a day from Monday to Friday for admin support, as per the approved schedule for as per the approved schedule for technical personnel. And in case the need arises, said personnel may be required to render service beyond 8-hour period or during the holiday or rest day. The payment of such overtime work shall be paid in accordance with the applicable government rules and regulations. As for the alternative work arrangement prescribed under pertinent CSC rules for regular government personnel during the current pandemic, it may likewise apply to the outsourced personnel subject to compliance with CAAP guidelines and approval. The CAAP head office reserves the right to reject any or all technical and admin support personnel who shall be found unqualified and unfit to cope with CAAP job requirements based on their personal qualification, credentials, prescribed by the CAAP HRMD. For the manpower support personnel deployed by the winning contractor in CAAP head, under the contract granted by CAAP, the CAAP shall not under any circumstances be considered organic CAAP personnel, nor will their respective deployment and assignment in CAAP establish an employee-employee relationship with CAAP. So, the employee shall be, the outsourced personnel shall be considered as the employee of the winning contractor. So for the qualifications, the winning contractor should be serviceable to the 4 area clusters and head office of CAAP. So for the area clusters, it would be area cluster 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here in the CAAP head office. The winning contractor should be duly registered with the SEC or the DTI or the CDA for at least 5 years, either as a corporation or a single proprietorship. And in the case of a partnership or joint venture, at least one of the contractors meet the requirement. Further, it should be duly registered and accredited by the DOLE, as provided under sections 14, 15, and 16, the mandatory registration. The winning contractor should have at least 5 years of continuous actual work experience in rendering outsourcing services and should have developed a good company image for its reliability, efficiency, and effectiveness in its work performance. The winning contractor shall provide other data information relevant to the operation, such as number of years in business, and if it also engage in related business of selling, designing, or installation of cleaning, sanitizing equipment or system. And the winning contractor shall be able to provide CAAP with the necessary number of tech and admin support in its 4 area clusters and head office. The winning contractor shall properly train and thoroughly screen its personnel prior to the deployment and require them to present favorable police, barangay, and or barangay clearances, NBI clearances, and medical certificates. Further, the winning contractor assures and warrants that all personnel to be assigned by it to CAAP shall be a Filipino citizen, possess the appropriate discipline and educational background relevant to the duties, be of good moral character and reputation. This means that they should have no criminal or police record and they should be physically and mentally fit to perform their duty. An additional requirement would be to have them tested, and they should be tested negative for use of any prohibited drug. They should pass the intelligence and aptitude, personality, and proficiency test conducted by the winning contractor and possess corresponding license as needed. They should not be less than 18 years of age and preferably not more than 55 for technical and admin support, and not more than 75 years of age for contract of service. They should also have all the qualifications and none of the disqualifications under the qualification standards set by CAAP. So the CAAP also reserves the right to examine and screen all applicants to determine whether or not the applicant possess all the qualification standards set by this office. So whenever necessary and as requested by CAAP or its duly authorized representative, the winning contractor consents and agrees to make the financial statement, licenses, time records, and all pertinent documents of the outsourced personnel assigned at CAAP available for examination. As previously mentioned, the working hours would be at least 5 days or 40 hours a week, and CAAP shall prescribe the time or schedule of work to be followed by the personnel. As necessary, they may be the outsourced personnel must render work during legal or special public holidays, and some may be required to perform services beyond prescribed working time or schedule. For supervision and control, the winning contractor shall provide a close and effective supervision of their personnel throughout the week. The winning contractor authorizes CAAP to have discipline, control, and supervision over the personnel assigned to CAAP during their hour of duty, and the exercise by CAAP of its authority shall not be deemed nor interpreted as relinquishment of the powers of the winning contractor as an employer. CAAP reserves the right to increase, reduce, replace, withdraw, or reshuffle, wholly or partially placement, and or number of winning contractors personnel in the assigned office or unit. Consideration for the services rendered, CAAP during the existence of the contract shall pay the winning contractor the corresponding amount based on the terms of the contract for CAAP units offices. The personnel shall be paid on a monthly or semi-monthly basis for 8 working or semi-monthly basis for 8 working hours a day, Monday to Fridays, or as scheduled. The rates and manner of payment may be adjusted in accordance with law and wage orders issued by the government. The compensation, manner of payment, and adjustment in contract, CAAP agrees to pay the winning contractor the contract price every 15th and end of the month upon presentation of a certification under oath of the winning contractor that all its workers or employees covered by this contract have been paid in accordance with law and regulations, and that with respect to the said workers or employees, the winning contractor has no outstanding. This was added into the previous TOR. So, no outstanding unpaid salaries or claims as of the date of presentation of the bill, provided that for every absence or tardiness under time of any personnel, corresponding deduction from the billing shall be made on the basis of the number of calendar days in a month. It is understood that all payments under this contract shall be subject to the usual auditing and accounting rules. It is further understood that non-submission by the winning contractor of the required certifications stated above shall be sufficient basis for CAAP to withhold payment. So every payment of salary, allowances, and remuneration to the personnel assigned by the winning contractor to CAAP must be accompanied by a payslip detailing how the amount of salary due and paid was arrived at. And all personnel subject of this contract must receive their salaries, allowances, or any remuneration due them in the savings account they opened at the area center or office where they are assigned on their scheduled pay days. 15 days after end of each calendar quarter, the winning contractor shall furnish CAAP a copy of the remittances schedule showing the names of personnel assigned to CAAP and official receipt acknowledging said remittance to SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth. All bid prices for the duration of the contract shall be fixed and shall not be adjusted during contract implementation except for the following. So if there's an increase in the minimum daily wage pursuant to a wage order, if there's an increase in taxes, if during the term of the contract, CAAP sees the need for an increase or decrease in the number of personnel, and in case of an increase, it should not exceed 10% of the approved budget of the contract. The corresponding increase or decrease in cost to the computed based on direct cost. And for any absences, by any or all of the 3,933 without replacement, and as mentioned earlier, for tardiness and undertime. The winning contractor shall provide CAAP with the necessary number of cleaners. So initially, the janitorial unit of the winning contractor in CAAP and or its acquired assets or managed project shall consist of a total of 1,330 cleaners. So as the need arises, the winning contractor obligated itself to post such additional janitors within 72 hours upon receipt of a written notice from CAAP. And CAAP may likewise at any time reduce the number of cleaners to conform with its requirement. The winning contractor shall submit a list of the 1,330 cleaners to be assigned in CAAP. And same qualifications as mentioned earlier. A separate of at least 3 cleaners shall be made available as replacement for the regular cleaners and shall likewise be submitted to CAAP for approval. For the electricity and water, it will be provided by CAAP, and CAAP reserves the right again to examine all and screen all the cleaners to be deployed and to determine whether or not the cleaners possess all the qualifications here enumerated. Whenever necessary, the CAAP or its authorized representative may examine the financial statement, licenses, time records, and other pertinent documents of the winning contractor. So these are the daily scope of work for the cleaners. So sweeping, mopping, spot scrubbing, polishing of floors, continuous servicing during office hours of areas with heavy traffic, cleaning and sanitizing of toilets and washrooms. This includes the sanitizing and disinfecting of the basins, urinals, and toilet bowls. Spraying of toilets and certain hallways with deodorant or freshener. Dusting and cleaning of horizontal and vertical surfaces. Dusting and cleaning of all glass tops, partitions, exterior, interior surfaces of windows and doors, window ledges, air vents, partitions, furniture, cleaning of ashtrays and receptacles, disposal of trash, sweeping and polishing of stairway and railings, sweeping and cleaning of areas outside the perimeter fence. So for the weekly, washing, scrubbing, waxing, and polishing of all floors, washing of interior and exterior sides of glass, dusting of light fixtures, and you may refer to your list, to your copy of the TOR. So this is the additional provision. So the winning contractor shall submit a daily, weekly, monthly checklist of the performance of the above minimum operations and activities. So we've added this for as guide for the materials which will also be furnished by the contractor. So in addition to providing janitorial services, the winning contractor shall also provide janitorial supplies and materials including but not limited to tissues, soaps, disinfectants, dishwashing liquid or soaps, mops, brooms, dustpans, trash bags, dust towels, rubber gloves, and other consumable cleaning materials. So the winning contractor commits that the supplies and materials are of a quantity sufficient for the utilization of the cleaners and corresponding to the needs of CAAP. For compliance with labor laws, the winning contractor, as the employer of the contracted personnel, assumes full responsibility for compliance with existing labor laws, rules, and regulations. So the winning contractor undertakes to inform the outsourced personnel at the time of hiring as to the wages and working conditions under which they are employed, including among others the following: the rate of pay, method of calculating of wages, the form, time, and place of payment of wage, and any change with respect to any of the preceding items. And should CAAP be made liable for winning contractors' failure to comply with any labor laws, rules, and regulations, the winning contractor hereby obligates itself to indemnify CAAP to the full extent of such liability, including attorney's fees. Observance of occupational and health safety. health and safety. The winning contractor shall subject the personnel to tests and examinations required under occupational health and safety standards and regulations adhered to by CAAP. So whenever necessary, the winning contractor shall also provide the personnel with the proper PPE, supply, and equipment as necessary. Liability for claims, loss, and damages, and injury. The winning contractor continues to be the employer of the personnel assigned in CAAP. As such, the winning contractor assumes full responsibility for any claims for damages to property or personal injury, including death, that may be caused by the said drivers and janitors to CAAP officials and employees and to third persons. The winning contractor hereby agrees to hold CAAP free from all liabilities and or damages which CAAP officers and employees may suffer by reasons of the performance of the obligations of the winning contractor under this contract. The winning contractor shall further hold the CAAP free and harmless from any and all claims, actions, complaints, suits, accountabilities, or liabilities arising out of or any or all claims for workmen's compensation, unpaid wages, overtime premium pay, holiday pay, allowances, and or such other benefits which said employees or personnel of the winning contractor or their heirs and assigns may bring against the CAAP. The winning contractor shall be responsible for any loss or damage that may be suffered by CAAP due to willful act, negligence, and or carelessness of its personnel in the performance of their duties. We have deleted the provision regarding the surety bond.
Um, I, I'll continue with the section 8 of these bidding documents, checklist and technical and financial documents. So these are the updated. This is the updated list of documents for technical and financial component. So for technical component envelope, must contain legal documents, field rep registration, platinum membership, SEC, DTI, or CDA for cooperatives or equivalent document, mayor's permit, or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder. Tax clearance, next is the statement of the prospective bidders of all its ongoing government and private contracts. There's a prescribed format for this requirement, technical document requirement, in the bidding forms, Annex A, Form 1. Next technical document requirement is the statement of SLCC with prescribed format CAAP BAC SF Annex A Form 2. Third technical document requirement is the registration of the agency or contractor with the Department of Labor and Employment. Fourth, original copy of bid security or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration with prescribed format, CAAP BAC SF Annex B Form 1. Fifth requirement, schedule of requirements with prescribed format, Annex B Form 2. Next, conformity with the technical specification. with prescribed format CAAP SF Annex B Form 3. Next is the originally duly signed omnibus sworn statement, Annex B form with prescribed format Annex B Form 4, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate with the prescribed format in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney with prescribed format of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the omnibus sworn statement and do acts to represent the bidder. The omnibus sworn statement shall include the following documents: a separate document, certification under oath, attesting that they have no pending case against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements as prescribed under the IRR of the RA 9184. Another attachment, separate document, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pending case of the prospective bidders against this the procuring entity. Third attachment to the omnibus sworn statement are the bid bulletins. We will issue one after this pre-bid conference. Financial documents under the technical component, audited financial statements showing, among others, the supplier's total and current assets and liability stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited authorized institution for the preceding calendar year. It should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of the bid submission. NFCC of the computation of NFCC of the prospective bidders with prescribed format Annex C Form 4, or committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of the NFCC computation. Class B documents for the technical component, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all potential joint venture partners stating that they are willing to enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance of that the bid is successful. The second envelope contains the financial component. First, the original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, CAAP BAC SF bid form. Second, original duly signed and accomplished price schedule for non-technical, Annex C Form 1. Original duly signed accomplished price schedule for technical, Annex C Form 2. And original duly signed accomplished summary price schedule, Annex C Form 3. Other documentary requirements required under RA 9184 as applicable for foreign and domestic. Certification of relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. Certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. That's it for the Section 8 checklist of updated checklist of technical and financial documents. Let's proceed with the bidding forms. Updated Section 9, bidding forms. So there are four parts. Annex A, B, and C. First bidding form is the financial bid form. Annex A comprises of statement of all ongoing contracts, statement of SLCC, joint resolution form for JVA. Annex A Form 1, all ongoing, statement of all ongoing. This is the prescribed format. Annex A Form 2, single statement of single largest completed contract format, and JVA joint resolution format. For Annex B, bid securing declaration form, the prescribed format, notarized. Annex B Form 2, schedule of requirements, the complete position title, item number, quantity, unit for non-tech and technical are specified on Section 6, schedule of requirements. Annex B Form 3, technical specification, items, position title, monthly salary are stated in Section 7 technical specification of these bidding documents. So this is the prescribed format. Annex B Form 4 is the prescribed format for an omnibus warrant statement. Notarized. For Annex C of the bidding forms, these are the bid forms for financial component. Form 1, refers to the price schedule for non-technical. Form 2 for price schedule for technical. Form 3 we'll just correct this. Form 3 refers to the summary of bid proposal. Summary of bid proposal for both non-tech and technical. Annex C Form 4 is the form for computation of NFCC. I'll discuss the details of Annex C Forms 1 to 3 later. Annex D Forms, bidding forms, authority of signatory or SPA, authority of signatory or secretary certificates. 1A, Annex D Form 1A, notarized. Annex D for Form 1B, notarized. So for the details of Annex C Form 1, price schedule for non-technical. I'll share screen. So this is the price schedule for non-technical. portion of the form are the position titles, salary grade, which salary grade equivalent for these non-technical personnel. Um, the succeeding items, A to E, are amount payable to the employee. Basic pay or monthly pay is enumerated in the schedule as technical specifications. So these refer to the proposed salaries, monthly salaries in the section 7 of the bidding documents um, for this item, basic pay monthly, letter A. Service incentive leave, um, as provided by law with regards to the computation, 13th month pay, COLA, second portion is the amount payable to the government. So the benefits and insurances, pag-ibig contribution, SSS, PHIC, ECC. So the subtotal for the amount payable to the government is letter J. So total amount payable to the employee and government is letter K, which is equal to the sum of E and J, subtotals of amount payable to the government and employee. So the number of personnel is also, you can also refer or cross-check the number of required in the technical in the schedule of requirements, section 6. So total monthly payable to the employee with the formula K times L. Total annual payable to the employee and government with the formula M times 12 for the duration of 12 months. So the total labor cost for 1 year is equal to the grand total of N, this column, this row, letter N, grand total. So the bidder should indicate its amount, and the cost, letter B, capital letter B, cost of supplies and materials for the janitorial services. So you have to indicate the specific amount for this item. So cost of supplies and materials for janitorial services, as indicated in the statement, technical specification, is number 28 of 28 under the non-technical. So these are the formulas. Letter D, administrative fee to be charged by the winning or the prospective bidder to CAAP. So you have also to indicate the amount. The price schedule should be submit with the name and signature of the representative, designation, and date. Next, Annex C Form 2 technical price schedule for technical personnel. So this is the form with the heading salary grade, SIL, COLA, 12 months to deliver, proposed annual salary with the formula, employer social insurance counterpart contribution annual, can be, you can refer to the table provided by by these agencies. 13th month pay, 13th month pay, personal services, number of existing personnel, and the total. For letters L and M, overtime and night differential, um, these items, each of these items are to be computed 7% of the proposed monthly salary. Each of these items are must be computed 7% each. And for the position titles that that will be computed for their overtime and night differential pay are only four position titles. Item number 4, 5, 6, and 9. These are the only position titles that will be computed for overtime and night differential. This purpose, the purpose of which computing the overtime night differential is only for the costing purposes. So, in reimbursing overtime for other personnel, other personnel with no legend with asterisk, they can claim overtime with this allocation, 7%, but the priority is for the 4 position titles. With the administrative cost, value-added tax, and the grand total. So these 2 price schedules will be summarized into the Annex C Form 3. Summary of bid proposal. So that's all for the presentation of the technical working group for the pre-bid conference.
If the readers have any questions, they may raise it now, or should they need more time to review, we will accept any inquiries or clarifications until Monday or on Feb 7, 10 days before the submission and opening.
The technical working group as well as the end user is now prepared to address your questions. But before raising your questions, sir, ma'ams, Please introduce yourself and the company that you represent for records purposes. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Jun Canlas from Elser Corporation, Mr. Chair. So, to proceed with our clarification, we'd like to ask, referring to the checklist eligibility requirement number 2, with legal clearance to be issued by CAAP. So, would the bidder be going to request this from CAAP?
Legal clearance to be issued by CAAP ENS, sir?
Yes.
Yes. You will just have to go to the Enforcement and Legal Service Office and you may fill up a request form.
In
Alam mo
addition,
kung saan ng ano,
uh,
Quezon National High School. Malapit sa inyo yun.
sir, in addition, just a reminder, for the bidders um, prospective bidders to enter the CAAP premises, we are now requiring vaccination card and an antigen negative result within 72 hours the date um, from the date you are going to enter CAAP premises.
Yeah, okay, sir. That's noted. And then, so meaning the legal clearance, halimbawa, yung bidder is a new, not currently servicing CAAP, they are still required to, request this clearance since they have no engagement, particularly sa CAAP, sir. Would it be applicable?
Yes, sir, since it is part of the checklist.
Okay, thank you. And then, since we already paid, no, purchased the bid docs, but with the revision, with the addition of the bid document, when it will be applicable or available for us to obtain the bid document?
After the pre-bid conference, we will be posting this. We will be requesting to post this um, um, revised bidding documents as soon as possible.
This will be an attachment of the bid bulletin which we will be posting today.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. And then another question, actually. We just noted that from the documents we downloaded PhilJeps, no, since prior to the revision, we noted that some of the requirements and forms are intended for security services. But however, we noted on the financial bid form for security services that that other benefits such as solo parent, paternity leave, Magna Carta, and VAUSI are billable to CAAP when availed. Our question is, would this be possibly applied for this contract for Manpower outsourcing services contract, sir? Since said benefits were the same availed by this outsourcing personnel, just like the security personnel?
Yes, sir. The previously posted was, apologies for that because the wrong file was inadvertently posted. But with respect to your questions, that would be included also as can be seen in the TOR, compliance with labor laws. So we did not anymore identify all the benefits that may be given to the employees. But as you can see, the statement which provided that the winning contractor assumes full responsibility for compliance with all existing labor laws, rules, and regulations. So this would fall under that.
So, yes, thank you, ma'am. So, meaning the compliance of the existing service provider, just like with the security, so the payment of those such benefits, just like the SIL and other benefits mentioned, would be billable.
The items on the price schedule are the ones billable. I'll just all the items in the price schedule. Sir, SIL, COLA, Pag-ibig, SSS, PhilHealth, ECC. Overtime for identified personnel and night differential, and 13th month.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think from our office has concern to raise. Sir?
Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon, members of the Internal Committee, and to the chairman, General Stabilio. Good afternoon to all of you. Well, basically, on what Mr. Canlas pointed out on the other benefits that may be availed of under our existing labor laws. Of course, we would like also to note that since all of these employees have been absorbed by our company as JO personnel, and of course we did not have any hand in the selection of this personnel. We were just sort of inquiring or maybe suggesting as by way of a request if all the other statutory benefits pertaining to paternity leave, limited lamang po to paternity leave and maybe the solo parent leave. We're just requesting that if since these employees have been absorbed by us from CAAP, we're just requesting that if this can be billed separately in case any of the employees would avail of these benefits. So considering that these employees have been absorbed by our company from CAAP. Just a request, of course, we can formalize it in our formal query, Mr. Chairman. Just a request. So we will just, in a way, we will just include it in our formal request.
Sir, in order to formalize your inquiry, sir, if ever the answers are still not clear to you, or you have any additional inquiries, sir, you may still email us, sir,
Yes.
in our email in
Yes.
CAAP BAC Bravo, sir. And please allow us 7 days before the submission and opening of bids, sir. You have until 7 days before the submission and opening of bids, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
To email your questions, sir, so that the technical working group may be able to post the necessary bid bulletin, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions?
For ELSER, ma'am, since we not yet have the copy of the the TOR, we'll go over it and then we'll just send our if any, no clarifications by Monday. For now, we're good for LSERV.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Should you have any other questions, you may email the BAC Secretariat at caap@gmail.com, and you have 10 days before the opening and submission, or Monday to until Monday to mail in your questions, and so that the technical working group will have enough time to address them. Thank you so much.
Secretariat, can you post the yung email natin where they can send the all their other queries para at least
Comply, sir.
baka hindi nila na pick up na pag lang yung paki-post. Yan.
Also, may we remind the bidders to submit their inquiries only until 5 p.m. On Monday. Thank you.
Yan. Yan, para makita nila. Yeah, thank you, Secretariat.
I think that is all for the pre-bid conference, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. May I be allowed to ask one question? This is Riza and Soy from Temps and Staffers.
Yes, Miss Riza.
Yeah, I would like lang to ask, when can we have the revised copy of the bid documents? Because we have noticed several revisions made from the original posted bid docs.
We will post it today so you can access it online.
Thank you very much.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. From OmniWorks Incorporated, Jubal Pulido, ma'am. Ma'am, pwede din po ba kami makahingi ng copy ng Excel copy ng price schedule po?
Mr. Chair, if I may address that, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Ma'am, we usually do not give an Excel copy of our forms and other documents, ma'am, in order to avoid alterations. Kasi po baka pag nagbigay po kami ng Excel copy po sa inyo and editable po siya, baka po may ma-alter po doon sa specific mga digits or yung mga words po na nakalagay doon, ma'am. So, in order to avoid that, we are giving the PDF file, ma'am.
Noted, ma'am. Thank you po. And then, last question, ma'am. Regarding po sa schedule of requirements, no, page 35, it indicates that we have to provide janitorial supplies and materials, knowing that this is manpower services. Tama po, ma'am?
Yes.
So we can only provide supplies and materials po, not included yung labor.
In addition po yun sa janitorial services na i-provide, kayo din po yung mag-provide ng supplies and materials. Nagagamitin ng mga cleaners.
Okay. Ng cleaners. Okay, ma'am. Sige po. Thank you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Sorry. Hindi pa po kasi namin nabugyo yung revised bidding documents, pero meron po bang list of janitorial supplies and materials po?
Walang list. So, you can refer, walang specific list. Although, nagbigay lang kami ng mga general na i-require. So, like yung mga yung mga usual na consumables, mga tissue, sabon, disinfectant, mops, ganyan po. Pero pwede niyong makita yung sa pinaka-scope of work, yung mga responsibilities para magkaroon natin kayo ng idea dun sa quantity or kung ano yung mga specific na kakailanganin.
Okay, ma'am. Noted po. Thank you, ma'am.
Um, Ma'am, question po, Secretariat.
Yes, sir.
Uh, since this is Butch Guerrero from Temps and Staffers, and a pleasant good afternoon to LServe and OmniWorks here. Since there are a lot of revisions and a lot of queries, but I think most of them were answered, this is just an appeal to the chairman, sir, and to the secretariat. Is there any way of extending the bid submission so that we can be assured na there will be no failed bidding because of the many requirements and revisions po in the sa TOR. So this is just a request if the chairman and the secretariat would permit it. Salamat po.
Mr. Chair,
Secretariat or the end user. For that matter, sa end user muna. Nandiyan ba yung end user, Secretariat?
Yes, sir. Through the chair, the end
Yeah.
user will refer this to the members for discussion, and thereby we will await for the decision of the committee.
to address that, Mr. Butch, the committee will have a discussion on this, and we will see if what will be the decision of the members of the committee as well as our end users and our TWG, sir, on this, and we will make the necessary issuances, sir, on the decision of the committee.
Salamat po. Salamat po. Kasi we are also reeling away from yung mga alert level 3 to alert level 2. And marami rin pong mga tao na nagkakaroon ng COVID. So I hope you understand where everybody is coming from this pandemic. Marami pong salamat, Mr. Chair and the Secretariat po. Salamat po for the consideration.
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Clarification. By the way, I'm Janet from Temps and Staffers. Regarding sa technical documents for the ongoing contracts, required ba natin na i-attach pa yung mga proof or copy ng contract or ng notices, or kahit wala na siyang attachment muna during bid opening?
It's included the specification of the it is stipulated in the instruction to bidders with regards to the requirement for certification of completed contracts from the from your clients.
Yes. For the completed contract, how about for the ongoing? Same then?
based on the bidding documents we are presenting, uh, there are no requirements for the attachment of ongoing ongoing government and private contracts.
No need to attach. Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions?
None so far. We'll wait for the posting na lang nung revised bid docs. Thank you.
Thank you. Should you have any other questions, you may email the BAC Secretariat as what we have earlier said. And thank you everyone for participating in this pre-bid conference. Mr. Chair,
Thank you po.
I think we could excuse the bidders, sir.
Thank you very much to the
Thank
Yes,
you.
Secretariat, if they had no more business or any queries or clarifications, might as well we can excuse them. Thank you very much for attending this session, ladies and gentlemen, the prospective proponent.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for your thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marami pong salamat, Secretariat and
Sige,
Mr.
good luck sa inyo. Good luck.
Mr. Chair, we will be clearing the room, sir.
So, Secretariat and host, kindly check if everyone among the prospective bidders or the proponents have already left the room. Kindly double check it.